Hi there, Jess in the Rada Kitchen. Thanks for joining me. You can't be from Iowa and not have an amazing steak and potato recipe up your sleeve. Today, I'm going to showcase that with a delicious savory steak and mushroom pot pie. We're taking tender sirloin, serving it in a delicious mushroom and wine gravy, and baking it in a flaky puff pastry crust. Let's go ahead and get started. So our first step is to take this sirloin steak that I have, and this is a good size steak, about 3 pounds actually. And I'm just gonna season it up with my Rada burger and fry seasoning, both sides. And we are going to sear this on a hot pan for about 3 to 4 minutes per side. It's gonna be pretty rare, but that's all right because we're gonna slice this up into about 1-inch chunks, and it's gonna continue to cook in the oven. So here I have my pan that has some olive oil down on it. It's nice and hot, so we're gonna sear our sirloin steak. And it's gonna cook about 3 to 4 minutes per side. So we are ready to flip our steak, and I have a perfect sear that you can see on one side. A nice crust is formed. So we're gonna let this guy go for about 3 to 4 more minutes, and we're gonna be ready to let it cool and then cut it into 1-inch sections. So let's go ahead and prep our veggies. Here I have 1 whole yellow onion that we're just going to dice. So I'm gonna come right down the center of that root, flip it around, and with my Rada French chef's knife, just bring it across the middle and down the top. Now for our garlic. Give those guys a good whack. Get rid of the peel. And I have 3 big cloves here. The garlic is gonna go perfectly with our wine gravy. All right, so we are ready to slice up our baby bella mushrooms with my Rada French chef's knife. And I love these guys because they have a little bit more rich, earthy flavor than just a regular button mushroom. You could use any variety that you like. All right, so here in my pan, I have some extra virgin olive oil. To that, I'm going to add our sliced mushrooms and that onion and garlic. We're gonna cook this until the onion and garlic is translucent. Give it a quick stir with my Rada non-scratch spoon. And let this go for about 5 minutes. All right, so while my mushrooms, onion, and garlic are sauteing in the pan, I am just going to cube my Yukon Gold potatoes with my Rada Super Parer. This is the best knife to use on these guys. You could use any variety of potato that you like. I love the buttery, rich flavor that Yukon Gold potatoes have. So here I have the hot pan that we cooked our steak on, and I wanted to glaze this. So with my red wine, we're gonna pick up all those crispy little brown bits, and we're gonna dump this into our hot pan with our mushrooms, onions, and garlic. All right, so we've allowed this to cook down for just a few minutes, and I'm gonna pour that red wine. You can use any kind you like. I'm using a Cabernet. A Burgundy would also be really good in this. A little bit more red wine. I'm gonna use about a cup total. And I always use a wine that I would drink. Into that, I'm going to do a tablespoon of beef base. And then some Worcestershire. And we'll let this reduce down. All right, if there's one thing we do right in Iowa, it is good meat. So here I have my sirloin, and with my stubby butcher knife, I'm just going to slice this guy up. Now, like I said, it's nice and rare, and this is gonna continue to cook in the oven. So by undercooking it on the stove, we're going to be sure that it's nice and tender when it comes out. And this smells absolutely amazing. And if you need to discard some of the fat or more tough pieces, by all means do. So here we have our meat all cubed up, and I'm just going to add this to our bowl with our raw potatoes. We are ready to mix this with a few more seasoning in our gravy with the mushrooms and onions and garlic, and it's gonna go into our oven. So we've allowed our wine gravy to reduce down, and we are ready to add a few more seasonings and our cornstarch slurry. So to this, I am going to add some thyme leaf, black pepper, and using equal parts of cold water and cornstarch that I've already whisked together, we're just going to go ahead and incorporate this into our sauce. And I'm going to stir constantly with my Rada non-scratch spoon. And we're gonna bring this back up to a slow simmer until it's completely thickened. We'll toss it with our meat and potatoes, and into the oven it goes. So here you can see our sauce is thickened, and this is about the consistency that we want it. It's nice and thick and rich. So to this, I'm going to add some fresh chopped parsley, and then our meat and potatoes go in. We're gonna combine this all together and put it in my Rada rectangular baker, and it's gonna go into our oven. So we are ready to put our filling into my Rada rectangular baking dish. I'm gonna try not to dump this all over the place. And we are going to top this off with our puff pastry. Spread this out evenly. Make sure that all the vegetables and meat have a good coating of that delicious gravy. So we are ready to put our puff pastry on top of our pie filling. So here I have some puff pastry that I've already thawed, and I'm just gonna layer this right on top. This is gonna be buttery, rich, flaky, so good. And stretch it out to the best of your ability. And to the top of this, I'm just going to cover it with an egg wash that I've made. And this is gonna give us that nice glaze on the top. So with my Rada Super Pair, I'm just gonna come in and make some slits on the top to allow the steam to escape. And this is also gonna let our gravy bubble up and create this beautiful brown crust. So here we have, hot out of the oven, our super savory steak and mushroom pot pie. This smells absolutely divine. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to check us out at radacutlery.com and to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get more great recipes just like this one.